Raging about critical race theory is the new hotness on the right. Everybody from Tucker Carlson, Matt Gaetz, and Lauren Boebert are all talking about it. They're all freaking out about, oh my God, critical race theory. Critical race theory. It is a Marxist plot to make your kids hate themselves if they're white. Ridiculous, right? Absolutely. And if you thought that that was the dumbest take, no, you have not seen Dick Morris, but you're about to.
What do you make? I mean, this is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff making a comment like this. What do you make of that?
Incredible. This poison, critical race theory, this cancer, is affecting all of our institutions, the schools, the universities, the military, all over. And it's based on the fundamental proposition that all white people are racist, whether they are inherently that or not. Their background makes them racist.
Right.
Original sin, really.
Yeah.
And that all white people got where they got by exploiting blacks. I have a unique thought about that, though. What does this do to the children? What does this do to a kid? A quarter of all black marriages are intermarriages racially.
Wow.
So what does that do to a black boy?
A black and white kid?
Whose mother is a white and whose mother is black and his father is white.
Right.
What does he think? My father exploited my mother and that's how he got successful? And if the couple breaks up, do they have to choose one over the other? Does it reinforce the Oedipal notion all kids have, wanting to kill their father and marry their mother? I mean, what does this do to the children?
I'm sorry, what? Wait, what was that last part? That people want to kill their dads and marry their... What? Whoa! I'm thinking there's some projection here. Insane. I don't even know what to say about this. It's that level of crazy. And again, I thought I heard it all. Oh, Marxist plot and making your children hate themselves and white guilt and but no, making black people or mixed race kids want to murder their dad and have sex with their mom is probably top tier, god tier, horrible trolling or something. I don't know. It's either he's trolling or he's that, or this is super, super projection. Wow. And by the way, what does this do to children? It actually makes children more informed so that we can actually change society to benefit all of us. Understand that critical race theory is nothing more than a scholarly framework that seeks to understand the role of race in racism and how it has played in all different aspects of society. And let me give you an example of some of them, right? Housing, redlining, policing. Just today, Derek Chauvin was finally sentenced for the murder of George Floyd, of which he kneeled on his neck for over 9 minutes. And that's not the first and only time someone has kneeled on the neck of a black man, or that a black man who is not doing anything wrong, or anything, has been murdered by police during a stop, during an arrest. And so there's more. You have education. You have, of course, the way that the zoning system is created and the way that the tax system and schools are funded that benefits wealthier neighborhoods. Well, white people have had traditionally more wealth, more built up wealth because of what happened with segregation, slavery, Jim Crow, etc., preventing the black population in America from being able to accrue wealth at the same rate as white people. You have incarceration, you have employment, you have debt. Once again, you have the building of wealth, home ownership, being able to, get a higher education and not get preyed upon by for-profit schools, building up that debt. And so you've got all of those different factors that are part of critical race theory. It basically just explains how everything actually is. There's no teaching kids like you're bad because you're white. No, that's not involved in this, but understand that's what they want them to think. And that's why, again, you've got the right wing that are doing this projection upon other people, because I think that they believe that people who are black are bad because they're black. And that is, of course, in essence, racism. But anyway, their reaction to this has been extreme. So far, legislation banning critical race theory, which again, this is an explanation of how things have worked in this country, have been proposed in 22 different states, signed into law into 5, Idaho, Iowa, Oklahoma, Texas, and Tennessee. And by the way, legislators, and they're all hiding behind the kids, by the way, okay? They're all hiding behind the kids, saying that critical race theory, quote, tries to make kids feel bad. Wait, this coming from a party that used to say facts over feelings. And they also used to run with the slogan of fuck your feelings. So Tennessee lawmakers also said teaching about racism promotes division. Gee, I wonder why they'd say that. And a pending bill in Rhode Island bans teaching the idea that the United States of America is fundamentally racist or sexist. Understand that this is a reaction to something that actually isn't happening. Schools are not teaching. These schools where this is getting banned don't even teach critical race theory to children. Nothing to do with children. Yes, it has nothing to do. It's not being taught in K through 12. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They have found something to freak out about, and they are just, they're going all in. Pedal to the metal. And why? Of course, it's a distraction, as always. Again, you think that they know what this is about? Hell no. An NBC News analysis found at least 165 local and national groups aim to disrupt lessons on race and gender. These groups are largely reinforced by conservative think tanks, law firms, and quote-unquote activist parents who don't even know what this is about. And in fact, they're starting to use this as a catch-all to anything that's about race or sexism or anything. In fact, Jonathan Chisholm, an assistant professor of history at the University of Houston downtown and co-editor of critical race studies across disciplines, writes, any anti-racist effort is now being labeled as critical race theory. Kind of like any sort of, thing that helps regular working class people. For example, raising the minimum wage to a living wage or above, or Medicare for all, or an increase in healthcare. Sort of, they're doing the same thing with critical race theory, anti-racism, as they're doing with that and calling it socialism, for example, right? And even critical race theory, they're calling Marxist. It's ridiculous. There's more. He says many that are condemning critical race theory haven't read it or studied it intensely. This is largely predicated on fear, the fear of losing power and influence and privilege. The larger issue that this is all stemming from is a desire to deny the truth about America, about racism. Now, why would you want to do that? Unless, of course, your power is derived from ignorance of that, of the history. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.